Good morning, everyone. This is Elizabeth Off Grid, and in this video, you're going to be following me along on an ordinary week, living in a vehicle, living in a Subaru in town. So a lot of my videos are about me going on a road trip or, camping, interspersed camping, whatever. But the truth is, I spend about half of my time in town. I don't have an apartment or a house. I'm living in a car. A Subaru Forester Wilderness that I just got this year in town in the San Francisco Bay Area, so in California. If you don't know what the SF Bay Area is. And so today is Monday, and today is what I call an admin day. So what I've realized is very helpful for me when I'm in town is to kind of divide up the week into kind of themed days. So today, probably 2 days this week, I'll have admin days. Admin means personal admin, business admin, all of it. So it could be everything from laundry to filing paperwork to taxes to doing bookkeeping things. It's all those things that you need to do in life and in work to keep things afloat, but aren't the actual fun parts of life or the helping clients part of work content or anything like that. So today, what's specifically on my list today are two things. One is I'm going over to buy my 5x10, and I work on this almost every day that I have an admin day, to work on the organization. So I have some stuff to take out of there, some stuff to put in there from the car and that. Some stuff to donate to charity. We'll run to charity for that. Some stuff to just find a dumpster to put in. And then I am working on organizing everything in there and going through. First, I need to put everything in categories and then go through everything. So I'm kind of doing a KonMari kind of a organization thing there. Now that I've been living in a car for almost a year, I have a much better idea on what I'm going to actually use and what I will never use, what I'm never going to use. And so I'm dividing everything up kind of in a couple different categories. Is this something to go to charity or go to a dumpster or go to recycling or whatever? Is this something that I actually will use? It's just not the right season, my winter stuff, that kind of stuff. Is it something that I want to try to use but just haven't yet? I have some cooking things, which I'll make future videos about, including a solar cooker that I just haven't used yet. Or am I keeping it because it's a keepsake? I do have some literal keepsakes, photos, all this kind of stuff that I'm keeping for keepsake purposes. And then everything else I need to just get rid of. I have a couple things that I might keep for a little bit longer because I haven't figured out my next step after this. Am I going to build a tiny house on land? Am I going to buy a small house in a small town? Or am I just going to stay on the road until I can't stay on the road and then deal with the problem when I come to that? And I haven't decided. It's still very much up in the air. So I have some things that would go in a place if I had a place for them to go, or I wouldn't use in a car. Like, for example, I have a sewing machine, and I'm not setting up a sewing machine in my car, but, if I had a place for it to go, I would use it. So, I don't know. I haven't decided about that. But there's a whole bunch of stuff in there that it ain't gonna ever happen. So, I just need to get rid of that stuff. Okay, so here is my storage unit. Now, it may look like there's just a crazy amount of stuff and it's not organized, but it actually is half organized, okay? And there's a lot less stuff than there could have been. You can see there's shelves, so nothing is really stacked except for right in the middle right there in between shelves. And that's one of the big things that I'm going to be working on, is getting everything up onto the sides so that way it can all be accessed and I can go through things. I'm also going to sort everything. So like is with like. Okay, so here, camera gear, filming, all that stuff, electronics. This is stuff that doesn't have a home yet. This is the pile, right? This is medicine. This is my hiking backpack, which is just there because it doesn't have a place. Maps and things like that. Office supplies, things that are long and tall. This has got all kinds of stuff this is all medical / extra Neosporin, Q-tips, beauty products, that kind of thing. Then down here has got some camping stuff, towels and sheets and cooking stuff. Then over here, this is clothes. This is my off-season clothes. Blankets are piled right here. This is my blue water thing, which doesn't quite have a home yet. And then this here, one of these boxes actually needs to go back there. It just doesn't have a place to go yet. This is all cooking stuff. And then this right here is cooking stuff. Then that is stuff that needs to go back there. And here is camping and hiking stuff. So the idea is to really put like with like, which I'm halfway through kind of, and then I can go through everything in a KonMari kind of a way. Because really, it's very hard to go through your stuff when everything's all mixed up. So I want all the books together, all the cooking stuff together, etc. Because here's the idea, is that a year ago, I went through all my stuff, okay, when I moved out. And when I did that, I did it with the idea of what I was going to use. Now that I've lived in a car for almost a year, I know what I actually will be using. I've gone through each season. I've done some traveling, some camping. I've been off grid and done dispersed camping. I've lived in the city. So I have an idea of what I'm actually going to realistically use. And I have my Subaru Forester Wilderness. So I kind of know what I am going to take in that car, because there's a bunch of stuff that I kept with the idea that I was going to use them someday, but I'm not. So that's the idea, is to go through all this stuff. Oh, by the way, I also have supplies in here. So, you know, when I buy tissue or something, or paper towels, I just keep the extra ones in here, because, you know, it comes in packs. Right? And so there's a lot of things like that of life. You know, my extra CPAP mask is in here. These are prescriptions that I've had filled like I'm ahead. You know what I mean? So you need a place to put all those things. I think I'd always have a storage room unless I actually have a shed on land or a house in a town, you know, so because you always need more stuff than that's like that. Obviously, some people live without that, but for me to have a comfortable life, that is what makes sense for me, because I don't want my car completely stacked up to the ceiling. And you can see I have this on because the light in the hallway turns off after a certain amount of time. So I need to have a way to actually be able to see what I'm doing in here. So this is the rain guards for my current vehicle that I need to put on, but I'm not ready to put on this week, just because I need time to put them on. I need to be able to think about it, and I don't do that this week. And I'll need to have a couple of days where it's not windy. I need to actually label the boxes. Many of the boxes do not have the label on the front. That is a bad idea, so let's do that. So you can see it's now dark because the lights shut off. They actually stay on a lot longer than they used to. I have little lights, little clip lights that I installed, so I'm never in the complete back, and then I just use a backpacking light. Let's turn this off. So it may not look hugely different, but it is hugely different. I now have like with like. So now this whole thing is keepsakes, and the stuff on the bottom is keepsakes. So I'm going to go through all that later. This is a miscellaneous that I'm with. This is computer stuff. But now we have books and crafts. All fiber crafts, sewing stuff is back there, electronics, and then arts and crafts stuff. So now I have like with like, so I can actually go through things. Oh, by the way, there's actually like this shelf has empty containers. Like there's stuff in here that is for organizing later. I got a red mark on my forehead now. So I have 2 boxes to go to my son. That's actually my son's stuff. Actually, a bunch of these keepsakes are actually my son's, but I'm going to put together a really neat like photo album for them for like their whole life, and then have a memory box that will have other stuff in it. I'm going to make that for them. So it's a project for the future. And then I have these things that go in last. So this is stuff to take to my son. And then I have these few things that kind of need to stay out. So the thing is, anytime you try to organize something, that really has to be the first step. I mean, KonMari, system is correct in that way. Putting I actually don't think I'm going to be getting rid of a lot of there's a lot of these things I've actually gone through multiple times and already sorted. But to be honest, I used to have a gigantic collection of books, okay? And the fact that I'm down to 1, 2, 3, 4, down to 6 boxes is amazing, because I used to have a library. I actually had it organized according to the Dewey Decimal System, because of course I would do that. But I think I will go through it one more time, because one thing that I'm going to think about, so right now all my books, for example, are just in boxes. I want these things to be books I can actually pull off the shelf. And also the boxes are not, there's space above this box. So, there's the light. So let's turn the light on so you can actually see me. That looks creepy. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and finish putting the stuff back. And then the next time I come in here, I can actually start organizing
category by category. I highly recommend if you have a huge, big job, of organizing stuff, that you do it in pieces, because otherwise it is horribly, horribly overwhelming. And I mean, that's actually one way I differ than the KonMari system is I don't do it all at once. I first just put everything in categories and then come back and do each category at a time. I don't do the sorting and going through stuff all in the same day because I'll get overwhelmed and not be able to make all those choices. All right. It wasn't a huge amount of time that I spent in here, but it was hard work and I am sweating. And it was very, very good progress. I also found some things that I needed to find. Now my tools are accessible, like my regular tools I use all the time, or I would in theory use all the time. So big progress.
Okay, so dropped off a load at Goodwill. I wasn't going to film there because there was a lot of other people. I mean, it was Monday morning at Goodwill. Oh my goodness. The store is packed full of people. The drop-off is packed. People are driving wacky. I guess everyone cleaned out their stuff over the weekend and they're dropping it off. And then maybe the store, like maybe actually it's a good time to go because the place is restocked. I don't know. I haven't like gone on to Goodwill on multiple days and know what the different days are. But anyway, I'm very proud of myself for having gotten so much done before. It's 10:58 a.m. and I got the most important things done that I planned to do today. So good for me. I also cleared out my email. So I also answered all my work email. I interweave work with personal, admin and all that stuff too, because I need to keep my businesses all afloat. But now I am so hungry and I'm gonna go get something to eat. Tuesday and it's already 9:33 in the morning. I have gotten gas, of course, because I was driving out to here, and I also got a blood test. I got my A1C, which is for diabetes, and then I had to do a urine test too. It's always how it is when you go to the doctor. You have to do all kinds of different things at the lab. And so today it is a heat wave. So in California and actually all the western part of the United States, western coastal part of the United States, there is a heat dome, which really just means a very, very high pressure. And so it's kind of pushing all the weather away. There's no marine layer here. Usually the west coast of California and the west coast of the United States is actually very, very, very cool at the beach because a marine layer comes in and kind of makes it overcast and foggy. And even during the peak of the summer, it'll still be like, 50, 60 degrees here. It's going to be 80 degrees here, which is very warm. The beach is fairly crowded compared to what was compared to last week on a weekday, it is super crowded. Kids are out of school now, so it kind of makes sense. There's some sort of thing going on over there with people and a bunch of kids. I, of course, came to the other end of the beach, was not that much going on, but we'll see how it goes at the beach today. I am going to cook food, and I am not just here to be at the beach. I'm working, so I'm planning to do emails and client work, but we'll see if I have enough internet access for this because there's other people here. So I only had 1 bar of 5G the last time I was here, so I don't know how it's going to go. I might have to leave to do work. I will have to leave to get ice. Now there's another parking lot at the top of the cliff that there's no bathroom there, and you actually can't see the ocean, but the weather won't be hot, Now the one other issue is there's no shade here. And it's one thing to be in no shade when it's, 6 degrees like it usually is here. It's another thing to be in no shade when it's going to be 80. That's pretty warm in a car. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do when it's actually warm. Depends on how breezy it is. Depends on if their picnic tables are available. There's partial shade there, which is so weird why anyone bothers with partial shade when you can have full shade, but I could go sit there and do stuff. But a lot of that depends on whether or not I have internet access, because if I don't, then I'll have to go back into town and find some parking lot to park at. It can be really hard to find parking in Santa Cruz, and some of the parking is actually metered. So I'd have to find somewhere that would work. But that's the ideas today. Now tomorrow I plan to go to a different beach that will have definitely fewer people.
So I just checked the hyper local forecast, and right here it's supposed to only be 71 versus Santa Cruz is going to be 80. We'll see what actually happens, but that actually is very good to know. This might be a little pocket of different temperature. I don't know. I don't really understand. Like, it's 6 miles to Santa Cruz. I don't know why it would be 9 degrees warmer there, but yeah, so I've been trying to use the internet. Just isn't having enough. There's just too many people here, you know, doing whatever they're doing, texting people and stuff, and it uses up just enough bandwidth. And you can see more and more people coming right behind me. So yeah, it's gonna be hot today, so people are coming to the beach. This is an experiment in figuring out where do I go when it's hot. And today the reason I'm working on client stuff today at the beach is because on Thursday and maybe even Friday, I'm going to be helping my son with something, so I'm not going to be working then. So I really do need to get work done today. I can't do other stuff where I could do at a remote beach, but I don't have connection. Because I think I probably talked about this, but you really have to, when you're coming to places that are beautiful and you need to actually get work done and get stuff done and check your email and everything, you have to check. And so I just have AT&T right now. I don't have another provider. I eventually will get a T-Mobile hotspot probably, but right now I just have AT&T. My goodness, those kids are so loud. So because of that, I just have to look on the AT&T coverage map and kind of get somewhere that I think is going to have good connection. Right here is supposed to be 5G, and it is 5G, but it's like, one little bar of it. I think I'm going to make some lunch, and then after that, I'll go up on top of that cliff, and I'm thinking of better internet there. Let's hope. Okay, so I'm gonna have to regroup now. I was about ready to cook food and my big battery is completely dead, which makes no sense because I just drove an hour to get here, or 45 minutes to get here. So it should be higher than lower, which makes me think that maybe it's not charging. So I don't have my propane stuff for cooking here in the car right now, just because I took it out because I wasn't using it. So that means I can't cook until I go to my 5x10 and get my stuff, which I think I'll do tomorrow. I could cook using my other battery, but then I definitely could do that if I had no other option. But so I'm kind of over being around all these people, and there's people parked very close to me. Also, the sun is on this side, and yeah, I could turn my car on and back in, but then I'm facing this foliage instead of the ocean. So why am I even down here? So I could go up top to the other parking lot and see if it has fewer people, and I can kind of park how I want to avoid being direct sunlight. I don't know. This is like the thing that I'm trying to figure out is when it is in the 90s or 100s in town, do I need to like literally leave the entire San Francisco Bay Area and go to the mountains? Or are there places on the coast where I can not be surrounded by a giant crowd, find a place to park, hopefully in the shade, with internet so I can work? I don't know. That's one of the things we're trying to figure out today and tomorrow, especially today. I tried working and I do not have enough clearance. So I tried to eat. I'm actually hungry now, but I do not want to be right next to people and I'm in the sun. So yeah, I'm going to drive up top and we'll see. Okay, it's so much better. I have a tree and since my car is parked this way, I'm getting crosswind from the ocean. So much better. This will not be shade forever. It'll probably be shade, but I'll get probably another couple hours. And you know what? That'll be fine. And assuming no one parks literally right next to me, I could move over and follow the shade for a little bit. So much better. And there's also multiple other trees that have shade. So for right now, at least, this is good. Now, the downside is there's no bathroom up here. So I have to go down many steps or a slope. To be honest, I'd rather go down the steps to go to the bathroom, but that's fine. I may end up having to go up and down those stairs a couple times today. I can go to the bathroom because that was not working for me being at the ocean. So now here's the big thing. Now I got to check the internet and see if I can work here. Okay, I got 60. Yay! And 60 down, 5 up. Excellent. All right. So I'm so hungry. I need to eat. I have no electricity to cook with from my big battery. So I'm going to make something that does not require cooking. Now I already have cooked chicken. So I think what I'm going to do is use that to either make a wrap or a sandwich. I have one big tortilla left. So I'm going to dig around my stuff and decide what to do. Here's my lunch. So the chicken that I cut earlier, mayo, crispy onion straws, and some dried cranberries. Okay, let's see how this is. It could use some lettuce, but I'm saving my lettuce for a salad since I'm not able to cook today. So with my big battery not charging via the car, I think what I'm going to do is I'll ask my significant other if I can take it over to their house and see if it will charge at all via a wall plug, so I can figure out, is the problem the cord or is the problem the battery? If the problem is the battery, then I need to decide if I'm going to get another battery. I could just use propane to cook, and which is why when I travel, I always have propane with me as well as electricity, because you never want to just have one way to cook. I don't know. I don't really want to spend money on a big battery right now. I think what I'd probably do is switch out my cooking stuff for my propane stove and my like container that has all my stuff for cooking on the propane stove, my pots and stuff like that, and then put my electric stuff away back in my storage unit until I figure out that electricity thing. So that may be something that I do tomorrow morning before I head back out again, because tomorrow I got stuff to do into town. One of the things is trying to find a place to sleep out here is much harder because so many people are trying to, and it's actually a very narrow strip of land where people are before you get to state parks and all that stuff, places that you can't disperse camp. So I'm going back to town. And I also have some things to do. I want to do laundry tomorrow morning, and yes, they have laundromats here, but I kind of like to go to my laundromat because I know how it works. I have it all figured out there. And also I can take a shower at Planet Fitness. Not that they don't have Planet Fitnesses out here, but it's my Planet Fitness. So I had to go to the bathroom, so I had to go down all these steps, go to the bathroom. Now I'm back, just a tiny bit up the steps. I have way more steps to do, but I'm just sitting for a second. Okay, that actually kind of hurt my knee. I haven't decided how long I'm going to stay here. I really like this shade. I really like the ocean breeze. I really like the internet here. I have to go down, I don't know, 150 steps to get to the bathroom and then go back up. It's not a cardio problem. It's like literally my knee really hurt. My other knee wasn't that happy either, but one of my knees like actually really hurt. So I don't know. I do have a knee thing in here, but I mean, that has its own problems, you know what I mean? I have a one final client thing that I'm about halfway through, and that is the kind of main assignment to myself, those client things that I've done that I'm almost done with. And then I will move on to other things that I need to do. My new fan, it's my neck fan. It actually is kind of nice, but I got to put my hair up so my hair doesn't get caught up in it. Okay, so my battery officially has a problem. I'm going to contact the company about this. This is a battery that was sent to me by a sponsor. And my significant other, who is an electrical engineer, as many of you know, actually used, you know, the little probes of the meter and everything to test the cord, and the cord works. So it can charge from a wall, but it cannot charge from my car from 12 volt. So the intake must be messed up in some way, shape, or form. So that's not good. So I'm actually tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to put the battery back into my storage unit. I got out all my cooking with propane stuff, and so I can cook with propane, and that is totally fine, and that is what I had been doing for months before I got this car. So obviously I love using my electric stuff because I have all these different ways to cook that way, but I can cook a lot of things with propane, obviously make all the normal stuff. And then I actually have other ways to cook food too, like my solar oven. So this may be a good motivation. Also, now that I got all the electrical cooking things out of the car, I actually have more room. I mean, it doesn't look like it because I have a bunch of other stuff. Like the car is kind of a mess and the battery's actually still in here. There's like literally stuff I need to throw away and recycled stuff in the car. But once I get that all done, and once I kind of reorganize things, maybe tomorrow I'll have a chance to actually reorganize stuff. Then I'll actually have a little bit more space so I could take things along like the solar oven and experiment with that a bit. So, but anyway, so today was Tuesday, tomorrow's Wednesday. Tomorrow is another heat wave day. So I plan to go to the coast, but to a different part. Also, one thing I learned today is as long as I'm in somewhere cool from like 10 to 4, it's okay if I come back to town and it's still 90 degrees because my core isn't hot. So
I'm fine, no big deal. I find somewhere to park in the shade, and which is not that hard to do at like 5 o'clock because the sun is such an angle. A lot of trees will throw shade, and then the sun goes down, and then it's cool. I'm not saying it's cold or, you know, I mean, it's still in the 70s, but I can sleep in the 70s. That's no problem. So yeah, so this was a very good experiment. Walking up and down those stairs was a problem. Like my knees really hurt. I mean, that was just too many flights of stairs for me, I think. So, which is a concern because my son is moving into an apartment that's on the second floor. It's a second floor walk up. So I'm going to have a flight of stairs there. And also it's a loft. So there's stairs to go to my son's bedroom loft thing, you know? And I'm like, oh goodness, how is this going to work? Because by the way, I'm going to be cat sitting for my son 2 weeks this summer. Not 2 weeks in a row, 2 separate weeks. So I'm going to be up in that place. So this will be interesting. And I'm going there in a couple days later this week to help them clean and get the place ready. And there's some repairs to do and things like that before they move in.
Blue dude, blue moon, kinda mysterious, shaded with someone I'm not really into. Do you need to fix it? Talking bullshit. It's hard to see you when your eyes look dull. Who's gonna save you? Who's gonna make you not blue?
Hey y'all, so while it is only 9:53 in the morning, I have already taken a shower at Planet Fitness, gone and done laundry, folded all my laundry and put it away, and put my battery, my third battery, my larger battery, back into my storage because it isn't working, isn't charging right now off my car. So there's no point in having it in here, including all the electrical cooking things are also back in my storage unit. Got my propane out, drove to the woods, and here I am. In town, not just in town, in a huge part of California and Nevada, Arizona, I don't know how huge part of this part of the United States, there is a horrible heat wave, and today is the hottest day. Where I sleep, that part of town is going to be 97 degrees Fahrenheit. So I am not there today. I drove to the woods. Now the beach are really busy, partially because people go to the beach when this weather's like that, but also because there's very high waves. The surf is like 10 feet. So it is full of surfers. When I was driving by, it is just packed with surfers, which, you know, totally makes sense and is awesome. But not me. I am in the woods. And the reason I came to the woods is because I wanted shade. I wanted quiet and I wanted shade. So here we are in the woods. I think the campground is still not open because of the fire that happened whenever it was a couple years ago. I'm not 100% sure though. I'm actually going to look that up later, but when they had sign when I came in, it said campground closed for season, which obviously it's not closed for the season in June, but I think it's just closed now. They haven't fixed it, is what it seemed like. However, the park is open. I saw one other car coming in. I mean, like, there's nobody here at this picnic area. So there's a whole bunch of picnic tables, which is great. And there's a bathroom. And it's both a bathroom and porta potties. I'll see which one works. But I mean, it's just a pit toilet, but that's all I need. That's all I need for the day. So I have a bathroom plus picnic tables plus shade. So it'll probably get, I expect to get into the maybe 80 degrees or something today here. I'm not quite sure because we are in a valley and there are all the tree coverage, but it's lovely. I can hear birds. It is quiet. There's a nice breeze. And of course, it's mostly shade here. So there'll be a very tiny part of the top of the day where there won't be shade in this lot, but otherwise there will be. And there might be one spot that has shade at any particular time. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm pretty much planning to camp out here today and just relax and shoot video for this channel. I'm feeling kind of headachy, feeling kind of migrainey, so I may end up needing to take a sumo trip down. I'm going to make food and yeah, I mean, I have no internet So there's certain things I won't be doing. Like I'm not, so when I say I'm going to just relax, I don't mean I'm literally going to not work. I mean, it is a relaxing place to exist. What I plan for today as far as work goes is shooting videos for the off-grid channel. I have like multiple videos to shoot, and I'm planning to get all the stuff that I've shot off my phone and put it on my laptop and probably start editing video. That's not just for my off-grid channel, but also for my legal channel. And I also want to organize the car. So the car's not in a good shape right now. You can see over here, big piling. And the reason is because I took out a whole bunch of stuff, all the electrical stuff with the battery and electrical cooking things. And then I put a few things back in here, and it all needs to be rearranged. I'm actually thinking like I do want to see if I can get the battery fixed, but even that, so I will still keep all the electrical cooking things because there are times where I really like cooking with electricity. But I think for right now, I'm just going to use propane for cooking. The only electrical thing I have is the rice cooker, because I do have and plugged it into the car and have it cook while I'm driving. Actually, like today would have been a good day to do that, but I didn't. So here we are. I also plan to use the rice cooker for making beans, like from dried beans. I think that will work. I'll like soak them and then put them in the rice cooker. I think that would be a great idea. And I have a bunch of dried beans, but I'm not doing that today because I didn't think about it. Today, I need to make food that is ready to go. That does not take a really long time for cooking. I also need to remember to put more propane on my shopping list because I only have one propane canister. You always want to have one extra if you're using propane to cook all the time. All right, so let's try these and see how spicy they are. I think I'm going to add some of these crisp jalapeno pieces. I don't know if I'm going to take a pill for this. I do want to take a pill because I forgot to look at the package and see if it has dairy in it. But this is actually pretty hot. So if it was any hotter, I probably wouldn't want to eat it. It's still healing up in the day. In other news, I think there are mosquitoes here. I do have bug spray in the car, but don't have any on myself yet. So we got that later, but right now I just want to eat. All right, so I cleaned up inside the car. I think arranged much better now. I have the right things in the right containers. Things were all mixed up a whole lot. So this feels much better, much less wacky. I still have to work on this area. This is a mess, but that's fine. The other things I want to do today is download raw videos. So I just recorded 3 videos for the channel. One about health update, one about my electrical system, and one video that is living in a car for a year, why I still live in a car. I'm getting very close to my 1-year anniversary of living in a car. I'm going to do a live right around that time. So I think the next thing besides downloading raw video and then starting to edit things, that is the next stuff on my to-do list. One of the things I also want to do is I need to reorganize all my raw video. It is just done by date, which is not helpful. It's done by month, which is not helpful. I need to have a little bit more granularity with that. Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna relax for a little bit, read my book, and start working again in a little bit. You know, I really thought there was going to be more people here. There's tons of people at the beach. This isn't that far away from where some of the beaches are, but I guess people want to go to the beach when it's hot and not to the woods. I mean, it's not hot here right now. Yeah, I really thought there'd be more people. Now, I think since the campground's closed, maybe people just don't think about this place. It's just, this place isn't that big, not that much parking, and I thought it would be busy by now. And it's 12:23, so, I mean, maybe it'll get busier in an hour or two or something. You know, maybe people are going to come out after lunch or something. Okay, so, I rearranged stuff back here a little bit. So on my bed is just clothes, either bag of clean clothes, which is everything's clean right now because I just did laundry, or dirty laundry bag or container. I have this basket, or a little bit of both. And the idea of that is that they take up the same space. You know what I mean? So
You either have dirty laundry or play clothes. And when you have a very limited space, it makes sense for those to take up the same space. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and move everything right now. Oh, this got hit the wrong spot. I'm not going to go ahead and move everything right now. I'm just going to move big stuff. What happened? One of these days, I'm going to make a video about my bedtime routine and my morning routine. I started wearing a silk bonnet. It's actually made a big difference to my quality of sleep as well as being good for my hair. I'm not feeling very good. I have a migraine, so I decided to go ahead and just lay down and relax while I read my book. The air temperature is lovely and I don't need a fan on right now. Might take a nap. So something that's kind of funny is since I have my windows tinted, someone doesn't know that I'm in here. My windows are cracked because let in air, but it's not that much. So someone might have thought that I just did that and went on a hike. So this is a picnic area and there's only one other car here. No, there's two other cars. One of the car, I think they're off hiking. They've been here for a while. The other cars, people pulled up and then they got out all their stuff to have a picnic and they're talking really loud. And I'm just like, I think they think they're here alone. I don't know what that is. I can hear everything they say because they're talking at peak loudness. The temperature is still really lovely in the shade. Nice little breeze. The car is getting too hot because it's sunny in that parking lot. But I didn't actually understand which way west was, but it looks like I should be getting shade pretty soon at my car, so not a problem. It is interesting being somewhere that I have zero internet access. It's kind of good for me to be unplugged. I've really just been resting this afternoon, just reading a book, and no, don't get on there. There's a bug. And relaxing in bed, not sleeping or anything, like literally just laying in bed reading, but decided to come sit at the picnic table in the woods, just down a tiny little trail. I was gonna have to get up and go to the bathroom anyway. Oh my gosh. So I have to tell you something. So there's a pit toilet. It's like 2 pit toilets. And then there's a porta potty right next to it. I guess maybe they felt like they needed more capacity. I don't know. I was walking over to the pit toilet. It's really close to my car. And I look at the porta potty to see if no one's in there because I could use that. And there was a guy in there peeing without the door closed. I guess maybe he didn't want to touch the door. So we all, I get that he was facing away, but I'm just like, dude, what the heck? So the last person left and I have a place to myself. I actually don't know when this closes, but I'm assuming it closes at sunset, which is usually when they do. Can't look it up. So it's nice to have this space to myself. And as you can see, it's all shade now. So it's a little after 5. I haven't decided when I'm going to leave here. It'll take about hour or hour and 15 minutes to get back to the part of town where I sleep. Now, one thing I can do is stay here until it's like my last bathroom of the day. I mean, I'm not going to be brushing my teeth and running water here because there's no running water. It's porta potty and pit toilets, but I could go to the bathroom here for my last bathroom of the day. Or I can leave here and go to a beach. There's a bunch of beaches right along here that some of them may actually have internet over there. Then I can kind of check my messages and, see if my son messaged me, my significant other, that kind of stuff. They'd both know that I was going to be unplugged and kind of, regroup on things, And before I drive all the way back, there's places along there that have bathrooms. I haven't decided yet. It is fairly cool, and now that it's past 5 o'clock, even in the sun, it's not going to be that hot. So I think I'll stay here for a little bit because it's just absolutely lovely to be reading a book here. And then I'll be back on my way. it is really sunny. I'm so glad I came to the beach. The surf is amazing here. Lovely. And even though I'm in the sun, it's not hot because it's windy. And I mean, I only have one window down. That one's just cracked because it's so windy. It would be actually too cold if I rolled down all my windows. So, lovely place to hang out in the late afternoon.
So one thing I haven't figured out is I'm driving along Highway 1. This is the Highway 1 that's the San Francisco Bay Area one, not way down in Big Sur or anything like that. And there's all kinds of pullouts that I'm not talking about the official state parks where there's like a gate and a parking lot of some kind. I'm talking about all these like little random pullouts. Some of them might technically be private property. Some of them are definitely state park property, but there's no gate. And they don't actually have a sign that says no overnight parking. So does anyone care? I mean, maybe it's technically not correct to park there overnight. But I do see, camper vans, RVs, like kind of smaller RVs. I see pickup trucks, like vehicles where I'm thinking someone might be sleeping in there tonight, because it is 8:11. There's probably people who have already gotten to their spot for the night, right? And so I wonder, I'm not going to spend the night here. I wouldn't even considered it for tonight because I am going to the city tomorrow to help my son. So I need to be actually over the hill. But yeah, could I have just slept out here last night in one of these random pullouts? So in the future, I think I will try it sometime to see what happens, Worst case scenario, I have to leave. But if there's no sign that says no overnight parking, then maybe nobody cares. Obviously, it may still be against the rules and they could care at any time, but maybe no one does, right? And that means that when we have a heat wave like this and it's 2 or 3 days in a row of this extreme heat, that I could just stay out here. Because I just go to a spot where I was at had a pit toilet that was definitely not nice, okay? It was very not nice. However, it actually didn't smell bad. It was just like horrible graffiti, very dirty. I mean, I have hand sanitizer, whatever, it's fine. But I was able to go to the bathroom there and I'm done for the night as far as going to the bathroom. So, I could just pull over somewhere and sleep. I mean, I am going to be pulling over somewhere to sleep in the city. Now, one of the reasons I'm doing that is because, as I said, I'm going to go help my son tomorrow. And so I'm going to go to Planet Fitness and take a shower. And then I need to go to my storage unit and get some stuff out that belongs to my son. And also I'll get my tool bag and stuff like that. And my little cart. And I'm going to take that all up to help my son tomorrow. We're going to have a big day of doing work at their new apartment, cleaning and fixing things and such. But in the future, that might be something that I try, is just staying out here.
So I just spent all day helping my son clean and kind of start repairing things in their new apartment. They got an apartment in a city that is like one of these 100-something-year-old buildings. So there's all kinds of stuff that needs to be not just cleaned, like I don't know when the last time the stuff was cleaned, but also repaired. Today was day one. I'm thinking we're gonna spend at least 3 days on this before my son even moves, and then I will also help them move. So that's one of the things about my life, is the way I've structured my life, is that, if my son needs help, my significant other needs help, I usually can be available for that. I'm not saying always, obviously, because that's not true for anybody, but generally speaking, I can, especially if I know about it ahead of time, something I can schedule, I can. And that's not just about living in a car, that's actually more about being self-employed. But anyway, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. So I'm walking back to public transportation, then I'll take that back to my car and then drive an hour back to where I sleep. Good morning. I am so tired today, partially just because of everything I did yesterday and also because I just did not quite sleep enough. So it's this morning, did a bunch of errands. That's trash that I need to take out. Went to Home Depot and went to Target and got fuel and like all these things. And now I'm at a pharmacy, which opens in the next couple minutes. And I am going to pick up some prescriptions that have to be picked up because they return them if they don't pick them up. And then I will be driving back over to the city to help my son with their new place where we're cleaning everything, deep cleaning everything, and also repairing things. So today we're going to be working, I think, on the bathroom and the kitchen cleaning, as well as repairing, like taking out all the caulk and redoing it and cleaning the tile grout and resealing it. We'll see how much of all that stuff we get done today. I'm hoping we can get a lot of that done, and then there's also fixing some of the hardwood floor and cleaning all that out. So I'm kind of setting aside today, which is Friday, and Sunday for that, perhaps. The idea is to get this all stuff done so then next week things can start actually moving in. They haven't packed yet though. So there'll be a day next week where we do that. Yeah, I'm so tired. I'm about ready to get ready for bed. But long day helping my son with their new place. I haven't been filming a lot there, so for a couple little snippets, just because I don't want to show where my son lives, you know, and also it's my son's personal business, what their apartment is like and everything. But hard work all day long. We're doing a deep cleaning of this place, and some stuff had not been cleaned in a very long time. Also, my son is recaulking things, and we're going to be working on grout and stuff. I mean, you know, we're actually doing repairs. So it's a lot of work. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to be here and I need to catch up on work and all kinds of things. And then on Sunday, I will be going back there. Good morning. So today is Saturday, and it is the first day where my Planet Fitness that I usually go to has changed their hours. They're, instead of being 24/7, they're now 24/5, which means on Saturday and Sunday, they don't open until 7 a.m. I was awake at like 5 something and I really needed to go to the bathroom. And there's a few places that are open at 6 a.m. Home Depot is one of them. That's actually where I plan to go tomorrow because I need to go to Home Depot to bring stuff for the projects that I'm doing with my son. But this morning I was like, you know, I'm going to try Denny's. Denny's is a 24-hour place, and it actually still is 24 hours. A lot of the places that used to be 24 hours, you know, like Walmart Supercenter, are not. So I went there. I haven't been to a Denny's in so many years I can't even tell you. It was not cheap. Like my meal, I got the, I don't know, the create your own slam thing where you get 4 different things, and the portions were not really that big at all. And I got that plus coffee and water, and then adding a tip was like $26. And I'm like, I don't really think that was worth $26. Yeah, I got to go to the bathroom, which I needed to do, and I was glad for a hot breakfast, don't be wrong. And it wasn't, and the thing is, the food there's nothing wrong with the food, but it's also not like anything. I mean, it's hash browns. That's like, it's not like they made breakfast potatoes, you know, where there was actual potatoes involved back there. You know, they got frozen hash browns and made that up, and scrambled eggs and stuff. You know, this is very basic food. So I'm just like, I'm definitely not spending $26 every Saturday and Sunday so I can just go to the bathroom and then, you know, also obviously get hot breakfast and coffee. That's way too much. I want to spend like less than $10 if I'm going to have breakfast on a regular basis. Way less than that. So it is good to have that as a backup, especially if I need to go somewhere at 4 in the morning or, you know, some really, really early time. So it's 6 a.m. Home Depot's open.
Except on Sundays, they open at 7, I think. I'll have to look and see the exact hours because different ones sometimes have different hours. There's a Target that opens at 7 a.m., but none that opens before that. Walmart opens at 6, but it's actually pretty far away. However, I could go there. And there's a donut place up here that I've actually never been to. And so I don't know if they have a bathroom on the inside. And that is 24 hours. And there is some fast food places. So there's fast food places that have 24-hour drive-through that do not have 24-hour. I don't know any of them that have a 24-hour inside. But some of the fast food places are starting to open earlier and earlier on their inside. So would need to actually probably go there and scope it out to see when the dining room opens. Because if the dining room's opened at a, McDonald's or whatever at 4 a.m., then that would be a perfectly fine place for me to go. And I mean, even if I literally just went in there and got coffee, a large coffee at our local McDonald's, at least the one that I usually go to, is $1.69. That's not true everywhere. McDonald's prices really vary. Like, I've seen places where a large coffee, the exact same large black coffee, is like $3.69. And I'm like, that's so weird that it would be so different. And this is an expensive part of the world. You'd think this would actually be the most expensive. So I did that. Now I'm driving over to Planet Fitness. It's 7:07, so they are open because it's after 7 a.m. I definitely need to take a shower because yesterday I worked so hard and was sweating and everything. So yeah, definitely need to take a shower today since I'm going to be in civilization. I'm going to, and I change clothes and all the things that you do. Today is a day in town for me I actually am going to work. Normally I don't work on Saturdays, but I didn't work on Thursday or Friday, and I haven't answered my emails, and I have at least one client filing to do and stuff. So I don't have a huge number of emails. I think we've so part of it's because I stopped taking new clients, and it says so on my website and stuff. So I'm not getting inquiries that I normally would have gotten. And then part of it is just we have a little bit of a summer slump, which is normal in my business. I find that in the legal business, slow time, the summer is slow, which is one of the reasons I decided to have a time that I'm not taking new clients be the summer. And then also, usually December is slow. So my biggest part of the year is always like January, February, March, April. That's always the biggest time of the year. So that's when I'm taking new clients, and then this summer I'm focusing on content creation. But actually right now, this part of the summer, I'm focusing on helping my son move, which is I'm spending like half the week on each week. This week we're focusing on getting the apartment deep cleaned and everything repaired. But then the next week we'll be focusing on getting my son moved. I'm excited for my son because they're going from a little one-room studio to going to a loft. So they'll now have a bedroom upstairs with 2 closets actually, and then downstairs it is 2 rooms. One they're using as their TV, kind of like relaxing living room. And then the other room is like their kitchen, dining room, and then a bathroom, of course, and a hall closet for a coat closet. But yeah, it's much more of a house, you know what I mean? And actually we'll have a public space, like the studio, a small studio. They didn't have like a couch or anything, so people have to just sit on their bed, it's like living in a dorm. But now they actually will have an apartment. I think that will be very neat. One of the problems with doing day in the life kind of things is that, or week in the life kind of things, is that there's a whole bunch of my day where I'm doing what I'm doing right this second, which is just working on my laptop, working in a notebook, sitting in a parking lot, because this is what I would be doing if I was in an office, right? I'd be sitting at a desk working on things, but I'm sitting in my car working on things. Now today's a Saturday, but it's kind of a work day for me because I wasn't working on Thursday or Friday because I'm helping my son. So it's like, yeah, I'm just doing work, just like you might do if you worked in an office. I happen to be in a car. Yeah, so I am in my last parking lot of the night. I know this is insane lighting going on, but that's just because I'm in a parking lot right now, and it is 21:58, so almost 10 p.m. I have actually had a very good day doing a fair amount of relaxing. I did some work and stuff like that in the morning, but I actually just played a game on my phone. I started playing Sim City on my phone. Weirdly, it came out years ago. I never played it on my phone. I love Sim City on my computer, and I have since the beginning of SimCity. And I play it all the time on my Mac, but I hadn't actually played the iPhone game ever. And so I just started playing it, I don't know, a week ago, not very long. And I really enjoy doing it. I'm spending $0 on it. On these kind of games, it's like the game is free and then they make money by you paying for the little coins or the little this or the little that. I pay no money. I am just waiting for things. Like, I'm just, part of the fun of those kind of games for me is, how can I pay $0? Now, I completely acknowledge that people should get paid for their work. I do watch ads. Like, you don't have to watch ads playing this game. You can choose to watch ads to get stuff. And the thing is, I actually would have paid money for this game, but I'm not interested in paying for the little coins or whatever, because that takes the fun out of it. I feel like you're paying for cheat codes. You know what I mean? And I don't think cheat codes are morally wrong. It's actually just takes the fun out of the game. You know, I want it to be challenging. Otherwise, what is the point of it? To play it for me. So anyway, I've been playing that. I spent some time with my significant other. We went and got coffee and hung out and all that kind of stuff, and talked to my son on FaceTime and on the phone. Talked about, you know, various life things as well as what we're going to be doing tomorrow. So, we will be doing tile and grouting tile and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, it was kind of a funny week to film a week in the life video, because a whole lot of this time I'm actually spending with somebody else and I'm not filming them, you know. And to be honest, when I'm working on deep cleaning a house or an apartment, I don't want to be filming it all, because that's just way too much. It's such hard work. You know, I actually haven't exercised in the gym for days because I've been doing all kinds of exercise with cleaning. This is hardcore, like my arms burning. I'm scrubbing so hard kind of cleaning. But tomorrow hopefully will be the last cleaning day, because my son really actually needs to start moving, you know, and they're working and have other things going on in their life. So, all right, well, I'm going to sign off for the night. Tomorrow morning, as I talked about before, Planet Fitness doesn't open until 7 a.m. So unless I happen to sleep in enough such that getting there at 7 is fine, I'm going to be figuring out where to go before 7. The McDonald's in the same parking lot opens at 4 a.m., but I don't know if that's just the drive-through or the inside. Oh my goodness, y'all. So I went to a different Planet Fitness that is actually 24/7. It was okay. I didn't like it as much as mine, but that's fine. You can go to other Planet Fitnesses up to a certain number of days per month. I think it's 5 days per month before you have to start paying them money. I mean, that's one thing, is the Black Card isn't actually unlimited everywhere. You still have a home gym. But generally speaking, that doesn't matter, because you're traveling, you're not staying somewhere and going there every single day for weeks on end. But if you are, then eventually they have you switch over or pay them more money or something. But if I went to one other Planet Fitness, you know, every Sunday, and then another Planet Fitness every Saturday, I could end up working out. And also those times I'm not in town, obviously. So it would only matter for when I was in town for an entire month. Anyway, it was fine. The water pressure was not as good. The people were not as friendly, but it was fine. Then I was going to go and get takeout for breakfast, just because I'm going to have a really long day and doing all this work. And I wanted something actually incredibly calorically dense. So I was like, oh, there's a Carl's Jr. here. I'll go there. I open at 6. I go to the drive-thru, crickets. No one is responding at the drive. And the lights are on. It says 6 a.m. Nothing. So I was like, I'm not getting out and going in. So I go down a different road until there's a Jack in the Box. Same thing. They open at 6. It's 6:30. No one's responding. So I left reviews on both of them saying no one's responding. So that way their managers can know that they come there to work and I can see them inside, but no one's answering. There's a reason you have no sales between 6 and 7 a.m. because no one's actually doing the work. And I speak as someone who worked in fast food. I'm sympathetic to the things that suck about it, but dude, it's literally your job. Anyway, by then I was already eating my things that I normally eat for breakfast, which is protein bars and stuff, because I was getting hungrier and hungrier. But I actually am out of iced teas, and so I was like, I was just gonna get coffee. That was actually part of the thing. So I found a McDonald's, which of course worked in the drive-thru. This is actually a drive-thru that's 24/7. The inside is not, but the drive-thru is 24/7 here. So got my coffee because people are working there all the time. They're actually responding. And this is 99 cents because they have like a coupon through the app to get coffee for 99 cents. So I don't know, you really can't beat that unless you make it yourself. You make fancy coffee yourself, it might even be 99 cents. So my son and I are meeting up at 10. It is 6:47 a.m. And so right now I'm doing what I do, which is hang out in various parking lots. Ah, beautiful. And I'm actually not going to stay here a huge amount of time. There's a rest stop along the highway between here and the city, and it is not the nicest rest stop, but it'll work. And so I think I'm going to stop there because I want to have somewhere to go to the bathroom. And I'll drive up there and have that be my, place I go to the bathroom between now and 10 a.m. But right now, I already went to the bathroom when I was at Planet Fitness, so I'm good for a little while. But this coffee will make it so I have to go to the bathroom, so I will have to leave to go do that. But I think this morning, I'm pretty much just going to relax, do the things you normally would relax doing, So I'm going to play my game, my Sim City game on my phone. I might read a book, just, the normal things you might do on any morning. I could do hobby things, and that's something that I think is important is if someone is just on a road trip, they're kind of on vacation, they're doing vacation things, but this is my life. And so a lot of the times I do the normal things that I would have done in an apartment or house, Now there's things I don't have to do. I don't have to spend time cleaning a bathroom except at my son's place because I'm helping them deep clean, but I don't have my own bathroom to clean. I don't have my own house maintenance stuff. I don't have yard work to do. I don't have any of that. And so I actually have more time that would have been used on that. Now, obviously I have time driving to Planet Fitness to take a shower. So I have my own commute times, but I have so much more time than I used to. So this is the most cars I've ever seen sleeping at a rest stop. So this is the rest stop that's kind of in the middle of the San Francisco Bay Area. I've never slept here. I've only stopped here twice, once earlier this weekend today. And yeah, it is already 8:22 in the morning and there are so many cars here, some of which are parked in weird places. So obviously this must have been completely full and people have all their window coverings up. And these are people who actually have window coverings, not just for the front, but for all the windows. So they're people who probably live in their car or travel a lot in their car. So it's actually very interesting. And I'm not talking about vans. I'm talking about regular cars and some SUVs and things. So very interesting. This is not a nice rest stop. Like in the women's bathroom, there was one stall that was completely broken, one stall where the door doesn't close because it somehow got pushed out, so there's no way to close it. And then a couple other stalls that were okay, but it was just like, this thing gets partially destroyed. One of the sinks didn't work, The restrooms on the 5 are like that too, but they're usually bigger. It's not that big of a restroom. But anyway, it worked for my purposes because I needed to go to the bathroom. I'm actually going to be just hanging out here for a little while, partially because I can keep using the restroom, but because my son isn't going to be ready yet. We're not planning to meet until like 10 o'clock. And the place where I'm parking, it does not have, technically it has a restroom, but that restroom has a tendency to either be broken or disgusting. So I'll stay here with this one that's not nice, but it's not disgusting. It's fine, and I can park here for 8 hours. So I can stay here for, 45 minutes or whatever it's going to be before I head along my way.